Welcome. Today we're going to talk about personalities of color. It's based on the book Life in Colors. So it's about personalities, the 4 different kinds of personalities. It's also, I have a reference in the back of some other resources that I have used. But basically, the theories behind colors actually came from a long time ago. And that's where Hippocrates just basically had identified 4 different types of human beings. And so he had separated them out into different personality types. Though in more recent years, Carl Jung described personality or temperament differences as a fundamental basis for understanding human beings. And so when his work, Psychological Type, was translated into English in 1923, it had a profound effect on Catherine Biggs. And you probably recognize that name. She had been studying differences in people for years. So the Myers-Briggs, you probably have heard of that as a personality study. Briggs and her daughter Isabel Briggs-Myers developed the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, which is used worldwide. And that's what most people have. It's those I, J, T, they have all these different letters. What's the problem with that, perhaps, is that their theory had stated that, human behavior is quite orderly. And in their work, they had identified 16 different types of people. Well, with that, it's just a little confusing to remember what all of those letters are. So, David Kiersey, he refined that work of Myers-Briggs, and in his publication, Please Understand Me, he returned to classifying personality or temperaments into 4 different types, so just 4 instead of the 16. And so, according to Kiersey, the 4 different types are different in fundamental ways, and they want different things. They have different motives, needs, and drives. They analyze, conceptualize, understand, and learn differently. And then these differences create natural barriers to communication between each other, and then also making understanding between people of different types difficult. So the true colors metaphor has been developed from the work of Kiersey, which is what this Life in Colors book is about. And the goal of learning colors is so that we can have better communication and understanding of other people. And realize that it's not to change people, it's actually just to understand them, because our attempts to reshape others may produce change, but the change is distortion rather than transformation. So our goal in learning the colors is just to be able to understand ourselves, our children, our spouse, people we work with, and then also as a business, our hosts and our consultants in our teams. And so anyway, those are the theories behind colors. And so there's going to be 4 different types, and we'll just kind of go through them here a little bit. So your blue person, the theme is basically love will keep us together. They want to appreciate the moment without analysis. Their classic line might be, winning isn't everything, harmony is. Their biggest challenge might be to state their needs and stand up for themselves. This might give you an idea of what they're like. I believe that my most important goal in life is to touch others and to contribute in making this a better world for us all. I am unique and authentic. I value my relationships and reach out to others through my warmth, compassion, and caring. I'm an idealist and quite intuitive. I look for unity and harmony and love teamwork. I love caring and sharing with others in order to help them realize their dreams and unlimited potential. So you're going to have different strengths for a blue personality, and your complete list will be found in the Life in Colors book by George Becky. So there's also some stressors for blues, and so you'll see that complete list in George's book as well. So those are some different personalities. Read through that, pause the video, and read through those for understanding a little bit better what a blue personality is. Then you have a gold personality, and for them, their main phrase would be, I'll do it. They want to plan and execute. Their classic line is, I know I'm right, is either black or white. Their biggest challenge might be to push closure or force their point of view. So that might be something to think about. Here's what they would say. I believe in following through on commitments and have others know that I am dependable, prepared, and punctual. I am very loyal and understand what is right and wrong in life. I strongly value my home, family, and traditions. I am a faithful and caring friend that loves helping others and fulfilling my sense of belonging. I plan things out properly and follow orderly and concrete steps to see things through to completion. So you have different strengths for your gold people, and that you'll find this most your organized people, and they like checklists and they're very punctual. Um, Gold people also have stressors, and so again, the whole goal of colors is so that you can understand yourself, but then also try and understand others and try and accommodate them, especially when you are working with your hostesses or your recruits. So then you have an orange personality, and for them, their main phrase might be, "Where's the action?" They want to enjoy the spontaneity of the moment. Their classic line might be, "Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing." Their biggest challenge might be to stick to their original specific agreements. Here's just kind of a phrasing of orange personality. "I believe that life is a game to be played to win, with fun, variety, creativity, and not too much planning or structure. I love competition and interacting with other people. I avoid boredom and routines at almost all cost. I am a natural troubleshooter who doesn't mind rolling up my sleeves and getting involved hands-on. I greatly value my skills, freedom, courage, and high energy level. I am ready and able to act on a moment's notice. Just watch me." So orange people are very talented. They have lots of strengths. They're oftentimes the entrepreneurs that you'll see in the business world. So the full list, though, again, is in George's book. So kind of read through that, but then also read his book. Orange people or personalities will also have stressors. And so the rigid schedules or needing to be on time, that might be some things that different stressors there that would be stressing them. Now, green personality. Their classic phrase might be, "Let me think about it." That's kind of that's their line. They want to examine all experiences so they can be improved next time. Their classic line, "How can I tell you I love you when I don't understand it?" Their biggest challenge might be to be ready and willing and able to give in for the good of a relationship, even if it doesn't make sense. Here's just kind of some phrasing of a green personality. "I believe in remaining calm, cool, and collected in any situation. I value knowledge and learning and enjoy passing that knowledge on to others. I am intelligent and logical and can be a perfectionist. I am analytical and enjoy thinking things through. I want to explore all my avenues in my inventive ways before committing myself or making a decision. I prefer to look at the big picture first and can constantly be counted on to provide logical answers." And so strengths of green people, you can see some here. They're a good teacher, independent, self-directed, innovative, logical, and factual. You're going to see the complete list in the Life in Colors book by George Bielke. There are also some stressors, though, for your green personality. And actually, I have something there as a game for you to find on there as far as one of the stressors. So see if you can figure that out, because spelling and grammatical errors is one of the stressors. So pause the video and read through that list and try and find one. So just kind of, it's interesting when you start looking at personalities to see the total of the United States population, kind of where they're at. So you're going to see the vast majority of the population are that gold personality. So the ones that, very structured, they have the checklists, and that's kind of how the whole business world will operate as well. You have an introvert and extrovert in there as well. I mean, so it's not like you can be both within that, but that's just kind of an interesting concept there. But you're going to find that probably in a business like ours where we're helping people. I did a seminar once for foster grandparents. A majority of them in that group were blue, because that's more of a helping population. It's also a higher percentage of the female population will be blue. And then, unfortunately, sometimes because it's more typically considered a blue, the blue personality is considered more female population. Sometimes males will try and mask that, but it's great to have a blue male population. They make great teachers, make great dads, make great spouses too. So you'll have that there. Orange personalities, 27%, so even higher than the blue, but you're going to find that in our business, we'll probably majority of the people in our business, just because it's a higher majority of what we're doing is helping, will be blue. But then a small majority of the entire population is green. And then as part of the female population of that green population, it's even a lesser of percentage. So I do talk to many women who are have that green personality, and they really feel odd, perhaps, because it's just a small percentage. So just realize that that's okay, and this just kind of give you an insight into a little bit of what the different personalities are. And so if you are a smaller percentage, then you can know why most other people probably are not like you. So it's all a matter of perspective when we're looking at personalities and we're trying to figure that out to be able to communicate with people. The goal is to be able to understand others. This is a story of the 6 blind men and the elephant. They were discussing what an elephant was. One had touched so they're all blind, and one is touching the tusks, and that's a spear, they said. The other one is touching the trunk, and that's a snake. The other one is touching the leg, and they're saying it's a tree. So depending on what their perspective is, they're thinking it's something different. And so they are continuing to argue based on their own particular experiences or perspective, but realize it's all different, that we need to be thinking of that, because none of them are wholly correct. So that's what we need to look at as far as when we're looking at personalities. Another really great concept of this is the tale of 2 beasts. On the first page of the book, there's a quote where it says, from Mark Twain, "There are 2 sides to every story, and then there is the truth," with the last lines of each story perspective being, "And I began to think that maybe, just maybe, he wasn't that strange after all." And so it's a great book to read to your children, but it's also really applicable for your business when dealing with people, just as a subtle reminder to consider other people's perspectives and also their color or personality, because that also will flavor how they view things, and how you're saying things too. A quote to live by is, "The insights of colors is 1/2 awareness and 1/2 choosing to value others for who they are instead of wanting them to be more like ourselves." So that's really our goal when you're reading that book and when you're going through this training, is just to be choosing to value others for who they are, and instead of wanting them to be just like us, because we all have different perspectives and we need that full rainbow to be able to be more effective as a team and in our business. There are just fun pictures I'm throwing in here just to see different perspectives, so you can see what you see there and pause it and see if you see 2 different images. There will be a young woman, and then there'll be an old woman. Here's another image. Some people see this, and then others see that when you flip it around. So a perspective for your blue personality is, others may see them as bleeding hearts or overly emotional, sugarcoating things, talking too much. Whereas the blue personality will see themselves as wanting harmony, warm and caring, great communicators, compassionate, creative, affirming of others. So that's just some things there to look at as far as different perspectives. You'll see a complete list in Life in Colors. Here's another kind of fun little thing just to kind of as a perspective to look at. You're going to see 2 different images. One might be of an Eskimo maybe going into a cave, and the other one might be a picture of maybe a Eskimo face, so just the face, if you look at it 2 different ways. So perspective of golds. Others may see them as bossy or controlling, opinionated, stuck in the system, whereas the gold personality will see them as abiding by policies, reliable, dependable, great planners, very organized. And so if you're seeing people as one perspective, like the bossy and controlling, you need to look at it how they see themselves and appreciate who they are, and learn to work together a little bit more. So here's another fun little thing to look at. You might see a picture of a cowboy looking away, younger, and then you might see a picture of a cowboy looking straight ahead, an older cowboy. So, your orange personalities, others might see them as scattered, rule breakers, irresponsible, manipulators, unreliable. Whereas the orange people will see themselves as enjoying life, problem solvers, multitaskers, having a winning attitude, flexible, fun loving, focused on the moment. So, those are different perspectives there that they have from each other. So here you're going to see another little perspective picture. Some might see a vase, and others might see two faces facing each other. And then you have your green personality. The perspective there is others may see them as arrogant, uncontrolled, intellectual snobs, lacking mercy, unrealistic, aloof, and cold, whereas green personalities may see themselves as calm under pressure, firm-minded, logical decision makers, seeking justice, able to reprimand, creative, efficient. So those are just two different perspectives, and it's always important just to kind of keep that in mind, that if you're seeing someone a certain way, realize that everyone has strengths, and so just being appreciating of them of that. So here's another little fun picture just to kind of look at, and just tell me see how many feet you can see. So when we're looking at communication, as far as communicating in colors, Mary Miskin has a great quote here. "I know you think you understand what I thought I said, but I'm not sure you realize that what you heard is not what I meant." So when we're looking at personalities, it is important to kind of look through as far as, again, our goal is to be able to communicate with people better. And so tips for communicating with blues would be to show appreciation, to include them, have patience, don't bark orders. So those would be some things. Blues could learn to say no, set boundaries, stop trying to fix things. Taking care of yourself so that you can take care of others. Because one of the things is with blue personality is that they always want to help, but sometimes then they take on too much. So be more assertive and don't let people take advantage of you. And understand that sometimes you can't please everyone. When you're looking at recruiting blue personalities, some things you may want to highlight when you're looking at the recruiting brochure or whatever is, lifetime friends, or this business really can make a difference because we promote literacy. We have a great benefit that we can offer because we can offer double free books with no cost to you. So who do you want to bless in your calendar? And we are a team. We are the Sunshine Team, and so you're joining a team. You're not doing this by yourself, and it's really fun to have lifetime friends. So those are some things that you can kind of highlight as you're talking with a blue, as far as meeting their needs, or communicating with them to things that would appeal to them. Your gold personality, some tips for communicating with the golds would be to be prepared, be on time, give details, but just, stay on target, show respect, don't interrupt, recognize their contributions. Being on time is important, so make sure that if you have a host that is that's gold, make sure you're on time and not late. They won't think it's funny. So golds could learn to, though, maybe set boundaries on their work time, even if the to-do list isn't done. So checklists are real important to them. So just set boundaries so that you're not thinking you have to get your whole list done. And schedule fun time for yourself and with your family and friends. If you're not, if you have to schedule it, then put it on your schedule so that you can check it off. And try and relax and be more spontaneous and fun-loving. And then, so that's just something that golds could possibly learn how to do a little bit more, stretching themselves. So when you're looking at recruiting golds, some things that you could highlight is that, this company has been around for 25 years, so it really does have systems in place, checklists that they can follow. You can see that the Write Your Own Success Story, there's checklists that they're there that they can follow. All the training and a consultant guide to help give them the policies to follow will be sent to them, and we have a Sunshine Team training website. So those are some things. Just they want to have the details and be able to have that, and so you're just letting them know that they're going to be able to have that when they sign up. Your orange personality, they some tips for communicating with them. Training is already too long. They've already left. But You can use sound bites, move with them as they multitask, appreciate their flair, allow options and flexibility. So just being, more fast-paced, spontaneous. And oranges, though, they could learn to listen more, talk less, and lower their volume, and maybe focus more on others and less on themselves. They could let others be the center of attention at meetings and try not to interrupt speakers at trainings. So those are some just different things to work on for an orange personality. When you're talking about recruiting someone that is, you can tell is an orange personality, you're going to talk about the flexible hours, that they can be their own boss, that they can earn all these extra rewards, they can earn the full kit refund, and you're really challenging them. And an orange personality, you can recruit on the spot. They'll just jump in contrast with a green personality, and we'll get to that a little bit. So that is your orange personality a little bit. So now your green personality, some tips for communicating with them is just to avoid being redundant, giving them the big picture and then filling in the details if asked. Allow them time to think through things. So when you're recruiting, so greens could learn to decrease their research time and just do it. Sometimes green personality, they'll just keep looking at things and they're trying to do everything instead of just doing it. So I would say stop training and just do it. You're going to learn best that way. And greens could also learn to call their customers and consultants more instead of just interacting via email. And then they could learn to participate in group trainings instead of sitting back and observing. So that could be some things that green personalities could work on. When you're looking at recruiting for a green personality, really, honestly, let them know, maybe that it's based on 20 years of experience, so that adds the credibility there. It's a system of training that's there that they can follow. And then for further information, they can go to myusborne.com. So they'll want to see the details. They'll want to think about it, but do set a time where you're going to be following up with them so that you can guide them to a decision. And it's not like you're going through that back page on there with all the details. They'll read it if they're green. All the other personalities, they don't really look at it anyway, but it is there. So just realize that this recruiting brochure is designed to kind of hit a little bit of different personalities, and so you can kind of look at that a little bit there. But when you're looking at personalities, some things just to kind of really take to heart is don't undermine your self-worth by comparing yourself with others. It is because we are different that each of us is special. But learn as you're going through this what you can do differently. There was just an example, like maybe you have an orange host and you're gold, and you're wanting them to put their information in and giving those details to you because your personality is you got to have the details. Where that orange person is just going, I just want to call and have fun. And if you try and force them too much to be who you are, they're going to say, I don't want to do it. So realize that about your hostesses, realize that about your recruits, but then realize about yourself. Don't look at others and say, I should be more like that. Be okay with your own personality. Be okay with who you were created to be. And each of us is special. And so it's great to have all of those different personalities, and we really do appreciate that. So your Life in Colors book is available on your website, so go and buy that and look at it further. And I will also have information that you can access as a PDF to be able to read more. And there is a bunch of different articles here, too, that you can click on if you want to see more information. And this is where the resources came from. So thanks for coming.